Yo, what's up, guys? Today, we're going to talk about how to build one of your business's most valuable assets. And what's interesting about this is that I kind of fell backwards into this on my first business with the window washing. We started doing this to a degree without realizing it. And then I got away from it with my next couple of businesses, one of which was a massive failure, and that could be because of this. And then when we were building escape climbing, it came back to the forefront. And it was something that we didn't start implementing until like 2 years into our turnaround process. For context there, when I came into Escape in like 2016, 17, we were doing maybe like 300,000 in top line revenue. And then within 3 years, we were doing around 3 million. You know, not bad for a small manufacturer in a niche industry of rock climbing. But one of the things that we did to go from 2 million to 3 million was implementing this asset. But it took us a really long time, 2 years, before we even realized, hey, we're not tapping into this at all. So what is this asset? It is your list. Your list is your business's most valuable asset. Okay, so what's a list? A list is past customers. It is prospective customers. It's leads. It is people who might be interested in buying your product. And there's a lot of different ways that we can build out our list. The most common way is, one, when you sell the product, you just have a newsletter opt-in and an email list opt-in where the customer can click and they're like, yep, I'm on the list. Or they click rather to maybe opt out of the list. And then this is a way for you to send regular updates, emails, newsletters, campaigns, all sorts of things. It allows you a way of engaging with your audience, with your customers, without being reliant on running ads or on the algorithm of some social media platform. One of the big things is, we have a fairly decently sized YouTube channel with like 140,000 subscribers on there. However, whenever we post a video, it's not that all 140,000 people are gonna see the video. A good video for us might get 100,000, 200, maybe 300,000 views. And of that, maybe only 50 or 60,000 will be from our current subscribers. So there's like 2/3 of the people are not actually even seeing the thing. And this is the same on all social media platforms. When you post to Instagram, a fraction of the people who actually want to see your content are seeing it because the algorithm's not pushing it out to them. And so you lack the control, the ability to actually get in front of your people, the people that want the thing from you. That can be very frustrating. And so I see this as a big mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make, which is that they don't find a way to own their audience, to take the people who are interested in what they do and nurturing that relationship in a way that if the algorithm shuts off and like says, hey, poo-poo to you, then you still have a way of reaching out to your customers and engaging with them. This is vital because you're more fragile than you think. It's very easy to get shadow banned on any of these platforms or for the algorithm just to completely change overnight. And if you had been spending all your time building a big audience there, but you did not do anything to control or retain that audience, you're going to be very, very up a creek with no paddle if something changes. And so building that list is critical from day one. And then engaging that list, nurturing it over time to continue to foster and deepen the relationship with your customer. And if you do this correctly, you can add a tremendous amount of value to your audience, to your customer list. And then when you have products that can bring them value and improve their life, it's very easy to put it in front of them. And for us, what I found at Escape Climbing, this was fascinating, was we did not send out we had been collecting emails from all of our customers for years. And so we had a list of, tens of thousands of people, but we had never sent a single email. And then the very first time we ever experimented with this, we sent out one email, and within just literally 1 hour, we had done $20,000 of sales. And for context, at the time, this was a business that was doing maybe $100,000 to $200,000 of top line revenue per month. And so that was very significant. And like clockwork, we found whenever we sent an email, it was just like printing money. Now there comes a point where you don't want to send too many, you don't want to annoy your list or anything like that. But when you build the list and you cultivate it correctly, you nurture it, you can use this as a very regular way to drive sales. And so regardless of what type of business that you're building, you need to be collecting that information from your customers and then finding a way to stay in touch with them. We use, there's all sorts of CRMs or customer relationship management softwares out there. There's all sorts of newsletters. I've used a bunch of them. I've used Beehive. I've used ActiveCampaign. I've used, what's the monkey one? MailChimp. I can remember that for a second. ConvertKit. We've used all sorts of them. Honestly, they're all about the same. Really, just as the business, you need to have a way to send out mass emails regularly. It's gonna transform your business. And then figuring out how to actually send those emails in a way that adds value. That's the other trick. You don't want to just spam people with your offers. That will convert, but it will also burn out your list really, really quickly. And I find that the ratio of give to ask is usually 3-to-1. So give, ask. And the more that you can give, the better, the bigger the ask can be down the line, the bigger the product that you can sell, the more goodwill that you have from customers. So try to stay on that 75-25 split as much as possible. Give far, far more than you ask. Now, one of the things, like I said, I fell backwards into this in my first business and then forgot about it with Escape. And then I've been building my list intentionally for, my personal brand, the Beyond the Apex community. And the way that I do that is by putting out, weekly deep dive articles into different aspects of business or personal development. These are long, like 3,000, 4,000 word letters to subscribers, and within that I might have a single paragraph that's like, hey, here are some ways that I can, here are some products that I sell. If you're interested in any of this stuff, like here's the HYPERFOCUS masterclass. If you're interested in like the systems or the frameworks that helped me turn ADHD into a superpower, click here, right? I don't try to oversell the list. I just want to add value. And if people are interested, they can continue down the rabbit hole to discover the different ways that we can do business together. And that's important because this takes up time. It takes up energy. And so I need to have some kind of way of recouping the costs that go in for my team to produce the podcast or the videos. And so that's a big part of why we charge. I always get that question, like, why do you guys charge? Because, time ain't free. But the list has been a powerful way for us to continue nurturing that relationship. If you're interested in seeing how our list works, so you can kind of get behind the scenes access to the whole process, go subscribe, anthonyvicino.com/newsletter. You can sign up for it. You can see, our onboarding process, the types of communications that we send out to people. And then when we do make a pitch, what does that look like? And then take those ideas and start thinking about how can you apply that to your own business. And I almost guarantee there's no way that if you do this properly, you don't end up making far, far more money than you did when you didn't have the list. This is one of the highest ROI activities that you could possibly do. And it's incredibly valuable because if all of your other acquisition channels shut off overnight, like Google turned off their paid advertising, Facebook turned off theirs, your social media platforms all got shut down, you would still have a way of making money because you have a way of getting in front of your customers. That is why this is one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable asset your business has, your list. A really great book on this concept, by the way, is called Launch by Jeff Walker. This is an OG book. I found it on my shelf. I had read it like back in 2014. Does that sound right? I read it really early on in my entrepreneurial career, and it helped me a lot. So go check that book out. That's going to do it for me, guys and gals. I'll catch you back around here tomorrow. But until then, stay hyper-focused.